This meeting is now called to order. We have a roll call, please.
Mr. Bacon,
Here.
Mr. DeCosta,
Here.
Mr. Lawrence,
Present.
Ms. Lewis,
Here.
Ms. Martin,
Here.
Mr. Thielacker,
Here.
President Bioki,
Present.
Mayor DeMarco, Mr. Corbel,
I'm here.
Mr. Brett, Chief Williams, and the interim manager is here as well.
Okay, before we get started, I want to make a statement. I'd like to commend our Public Works Department for their exceptional performance during this recent winter storm, which brought unusually frigid temperatures and more than a foot of snow. Their preparedness, professionalism, and tireless efforts ensured that our streets were cleared quickly and safely, even as many surrounding communities waited days for passable roadways. While snow plowing can result in snow being pushed into driveways, an unavoidable part of the process, very few residents raised concerns. In fact, the overwhelming majority of feedback we received was positive, with many residents expressing appreciation and praise for the department's hard work and responsiveness. We are grateful for the dedication of our Public Works team and the critical role they play in keeping our community safe and moving, even under the most challenging conditions. We'll move on to the public comment period now. This is for agenda items and non-agenda items. At this time, only residents and taxpayers of the Borough of Forest Hills will be permitted to address council on any issue, whether appearing on today's agenda or not. Speakers will be permitted to speak for a maximum of 5 minutes. Groups of people will be required to designate a spokesperson to represent them, who may speak for a maximum of 10 minutes. Speakers are asked to use the microphone at the speaker stand, clearly state your name and spell it, and state your address for the record. If you have any documents to share with council members, you may present them to the borough manager now. The council president will determine how those materials will be distributed and viewed for the meeting. Speakers are reminded that council uses these comment periods as opportunities to gather information and not to respond directly to concerns raised. Information gathered will not be discussed at the meeting, but instead will be referred by the council president to the appropriate committee for review and discussion at the next committee meeting. If it is not a matter for deliberation by a committee, but requires more immediate attention, it will be referred to the borough manager, who will respond by phone and/or email within 5 business days following this meeting. So, who would like to speak first?
Hello. I would also like to take a moment to commend Public Works Department. It's a real joy to live in a place where snow is cleared. Thank you. My name is Kara George. That's spelled C-A-R-K, G-P-O-R-G-E, and I live at 504 Edgewood Road. These are my neighbors and partner that also live on Edgewood Road, and so I'm here tonight to speak on behalf of all of us, and some that aren't able to make it. Prepare a statement. I'm here tonight to express our concern about the presence of ice in Forest Hills. Across the country, ice operations have brought fear and instability to many neighborhoods. I believe that all of our neighbors, whether born in the US or elsewhere, deserve to live with dignity, safety, and peace. And that belief brings us all here tonight. We are respectfully asking the Borough Council to consider the 3 following actions. 1, refrain from entering into any formal agreements with ICE, and instead allow our local police to focus on keeping residents safe, fostering public trust, and supporting a peaceful, united community. Something I think that they do very well already, so thank you. 2, provide clear information about Forest Hills policies regarding ICE, and make those policies publicly available on the borough website. And 3, require that the borough police be present at all ICE operations to ensure public safety, protect human dignity, and prevent harm or any further escalation. I understand that ICE operates under federal authority and may act with or without cooperation from the borough. Still, we believe that lawful resistance sends an important message about our community's values. Forest Hills should stand up for human dignity, safety, and the right of all people to live without fear. That vision of a caring, peaceful neighborhood is why we all chose to live in Forest Hills. And it is that kind of community that we hope we can continue to build together. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Is there anyone else?
President Leopi, I know we don't respond to our public, but would it be wise to just mention the resolution that we signed? And reference to this?
Sure, go ahead. Do you want?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I didn't know if you wanted to.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, we recently signed a resolution that we would not support ICE in Alberta. And that the police will do, you know, what they have to do, but they will not assist ICE in any way. So I think that gives us some of your concerns, but we can give you more detail.
Okay, anyone else here to speak?
Yes. Domestic, 149. You guys all have pictures. So the reason I asked is because, as you can see, the path that I had to show lot, that's about 16, 17 feet from the sidewalk, where the sidewalk we talked about, the feet, where the shovel is planted, that's a 15, 15 feet. The other picture, oh, in addition to that, you can notice that where the tree is, there's no snow. The other picture shows that basically the entire area is plowed in directly towards the sidewalks. So it's not as if they're running by and finding out leaving a couple of feet between the sidewalk. It's 15 or 16 feet. Now, bit of history, when I first moved in there about 25 years ago, you had snow at that time. And basically the same type of stuff. Paul Burrow, believe Mr. Morris was here. I talked to him, directed me to Jimmy T. Like there was those three foreman. And he came up and we talked. I had four of my neighbors with me. Unfortunately, they're all deceased. Back over years. And we came up with a plan. The plan was very simple. That we would plow along the street just as everybody else does. Along the curb. We would put the snow into two locations. That one location would be about, the address would be 140, 44, 48. As you can see, there's no snow plowing. There's no driveway. And then the other would be across the street, that is out of frame, but it's almost directly across. And as neighbors, we all agreed that would be this plan. That was for here today. Mr. Moore's going to testify that he's never had a complaint for the last 2 years. No process. Problem is, we got a new foreman, we've got some new crew members who don't have any history about how to do this. My ask is for you to simply have Mr. Morris talk to, and he can send out a Jimmy Thielacker who can verify and test everything I'll say. And simply ask those guys to come in the plow, that they plow away from the driveways and try to get as much snow as they can in those two locations that all the neighbors have agreed to. Terms of place. And not only that, but we had some problems with ice and with the freeze thaw system. We actually added a catch basin where that large area is. Whenever the water company was doing some work on the street, that catch basin helps catch the water instead of it running down and finding and then forming ice. They had to come up with the crew, they had to be salted moisture. Again, Mr. Moore's going to test it. So all I'm asking is that communication take place from the public safety committee like this, Mr. Morrison, to talk to him about the plan that I'm gonna give him. If any of you need any further explanation, my number, my email. Show you, explain to you in detail exactly what I'm talking. And if that happens, then that will be very helpful. And we won't have to go through this. I don't know, I know that, you know, they come by with the plows, of course, everybody's gonna have to do it in a couple of feet. Because you can't get away from 15, 16, 17 feet. I think that's a bit much to ask from the residents. So, again, that is my request from you as a council. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else? Okay, we'll move on to this evening's business. Committee reports. Operations and policy, Mr. Lawrence.
Thank you, Mr. President. Nothing major, just had a couple questions, actually. Number one, we did discuss that everyone on council should get code enforcement reports. I believe that did occur in January. The only question I have, and you can just let me know by email if you want. I think you all got a 35-page report. Would you prefer a summary and perhaps the rest is sent by email? Save a couple trees, anybody okay with that? Okay, I'll just make a note of the plan and then. Okay.
Mr. Lawrence,
Yes.
on the summary report, does not have the actual reasons for the code enforcement,
Mhm.
what the violations are, et cetera. It's only in that large report. So if you, unless they have another report that we're not aware of, but right now, that's the only way to produce that kind of information.
All right, do you want it on paper or just?
I mean, I think if we could avoid paper,
Okay,
I think we should, but depends on what everybody else wants.
yeah, you're right, I mean, we don't get a true summary, right, Mr. Bacon?
I think it's a good case for SharePoint for just a centralized spot instead of emailing.
Yeah. Yeah. Objection to that, yeah, okay. Well, that was easy. Mr. Crossett has been looking at, not an intern as it says there, but I believe a class or group project to come in and to look at our website. He's still working to get a memo of understanding with the faculty will be arranging that, so that's pending. Mr. Pike, a resident, came to us in December with the topic regarding community solar. I didn't get that information distributed to the Ops and Policy Committee in January, so we will look at that in February. Yes.
I'm not exactly sure what he means by community solar. It means a lot of things, but it's actually a technical term. It's not legal in Pennsylvania. So before we spend a lot of time, what is typically meant by community solar was where you have an array that benefits adjacent residents that are there. That's not legal in PA. Unfortunately, it's not. There's a huge advocacy to make it legal, but currently it is not.
I don't remember because it's been 2 months, but I think that maybe was his point.
Then it's, yeah, it's
I-
not, it's not legal, but we can talk offline.
Yeah.
But I have lots of contacts about that, but until it's legal, there's really nothing other than supporting the legalization of it that Forest Hills can really do.
Yeah, I think that was his point, but I just want to let you know, we didn't fall through the cracks because it is 2 months and he was here. So, actually, this has been taken care of, but, as the president did list a number of things that the advisory council committee should be aware of. But one of them is we're encouraging them to review, when applications come through to fill a vacancy. We'd like the advisory council to look at it and give us their recommendation. In prior years, it just kind of came to council and we made a decision. And we obviously feel, committee has to deal with the people, they should be the first layer of that. On the Tree City Times, couple things. since it went digital, actually since the previous manager came in, we have new people working on it, and so I've been, since the previous manager left, I've been dealing directly, I've been dealing directly with the two of them. They are quite qualified, far more than we realized, to do the job, and so that's been very nice. We are gonna get a schedule together, we're gonna meet, I think, a couple of days, we're gonna work with them to get a schedule together for the deadlines for submissions, publication for the entire year. And that would be sent around to council members, advisory committees. So that people can be aware, if you wanna send something in, these are the days. We're gonna add a couple recommendations, one of them is that the editor that works for this, and I work in marketing too. Once we've gone digital, we really have to pay attention to word count. 3 paragraphs on a document like this is not much, 3 paragraphs on this is tough, and people don't read it, right, Michael? So we're gonna recommend that the word count should try not to exceed 200, 250, and absolutely get a limit of 400. And, I work in marketing, it's all digital, and we keep dropping that number, because the reality is we track, not Tree City Times, but my business, we track the opening, how far they've gone. After about a paragraph, it falls off a cliff. I think that's the only thing I have for the Tree City Times. We're gonna also remind people that depending on the number of submissions, we can't think everything that comes through every time. And then just a reminder that when the committees meet in their informal sessions, the chair should remember to send out a summary to everyone on council. Because they're informal, you may want to not refer to them as minutes, but just as a summary of discussions. That's all I have for my committee, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Barnes. Finance Committee, Mr. Thielacker.
Never report, obviously, we took care of the fire issue the last meeting. And like I mentioned at the meeting in the last one, met with Allison and Steve's comments. No need to make any changes to the actual budget, so that you'll see that motion on here under new business to close that, so. That's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Thielacker. Borough Property, Mr. Bacon.
Thank you. Just a few minor updates. The steps and pool projects are moving along. There's no surprises at this point. We had a discussion with a couple members from the community garden project that is initially been attempting to start a garden on Barclay, and just some ideas from them about potential other ways that could go in the community. And I think we might have some ideas and some sort of public forum looking to see about including that somewhere up here in the area, potentially in the ball fields or the Westinghouse House lot and or school on the park. Just to see the community engagement there is among that idea and potential outcomes. And we are also pursuing this kind of grant committee business. If Ms. Martin would like to take the lead on this, she's open. But we are looking into a grant for about $99,500. It has to be tied to some sort of senior services or amenity for senior residents. And so one of the ideas we're looking at is potentially improving the accessibility of the pool, the way from the parking lot. Very definitely forward to an option for that. So if anyone has any further ideas on that, you're welcome to send them our way. And that includes for properties activities as well.
Thank you, Mr. Bacon. Planning and zoning, Ms. Lewis.
Just 2 things. I had a nice conversation with Joe to kind of, this committee is different from the other ones in a little bit, to kind of talk about what he's accomplished and sort of pick up from there. And we're gonna be, resuming the meetings with the other sort of relevant committees to continue the conversations around the revitalization of Ardmore in particular. In addition, this week, Mayor DeMarco and I met with the CMU students at the Heinz College, who are doing a project focused on the business district that is sort of a cross between some of the agenda items of that committee and also the Rotary Club in terms of, and we've been discussing the scope, we introduced them to the community. They are gonna come this month, probably to one of the Rotary meetings, and to meet with Mayor DeMarco and I just face to face, and we'll introduce them to the business district. It's a short project, only this semester, for the class, but I think at minimum, they're gonna inventory our businesses, create something that is website ready, that may not live on the borough's website, but that seems to be a good project, and the students were great and enthusiastic and interested in, and everything you want them to be. So that's it.
Thank you, Ms. House. Public Works Committee, Ms. Martin.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just two items. We did have our Public Works meeting, which was a review and update, and thank you for all the work that the previous Public Work Committee members did. I see there was very much. With regard to the issues down with the sewer flooding done at the fire department, Public Works did perform a dye test today. But then Chief Colella said, I already have documents on this, you should have called me. But anyway, we have the proof, we have where the two laterals come in, and LSSE is going to proceed from here, and we'll be able to get some type of estimate of when that work will be done. But lastly, I wanted to bring up the multimodal authorization Mr. Brett had on his general report. We had received a multimodal grant fund last year, and this was for improvements located along Fillmore, Sharon, and Arnold, and they tie into the public steps that we already have. The survey was completed last year, and LSSE would like to prepare a bid package for an April bid opening, and they want to request authorization to advertise. Does anybody have any comments on that, or are we pretty much a go? Yes, sir.
Just to clarify, and also question, I think this also included kind of continuing the like a nicely upgraded steps style service all the way up to Greensburg, like along Arnold. Is that still correct, or am I thinking of it different?
I think that's the same thing, but that wasn't apparent in the report, but we can check on
Okay.
it. Okay, anyone else? Yes, sir.
Are you, you're requesting that a motion be added to the agenda for the business meeting?
Yes, please. If nothing else, then that ends my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Martin. Public Safety, Mr. DeCrosta.
Thank you. The only thing I have to discuss is the remaining safety updates to this building. I think that the door was already updated for the police department, correct? But we've still been talking about securing windows and sort of the front area. So I believe, Mr. Bailey, you said you had some of those proposals that were still in the works.
The window issue, that's already been resolved.
Oh, it has.
The company that's doing that has been given authorization to move forward. We can't do it until the weather clears.
Okay, and so did we vote on that last time?
Yes, I believe we did.
Okay, so are there any other outstanding
Yes,
beyond windows that we need to look at? Okay.
yeah, the camera upgrades.
Okay, so we should discuss that in committee before we go into business. Correct. Okay, so I'll just wait for that information. So then we'll review that and then we'll present it to council. That's all I had, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mrs. DeCrosta. Is there anyone that has any old business? Bring up? No. Under new business, we have a motion here to close the 2026 budget with no changes made to the content of the budget previously approved.
So moved.
Did we get a second?
Yes.
Who second?
Mr. Thielek? Okay, can we have a voice vote on that?
Mr. Bacon?
We're in voice or roll call.
Oh, you don't mean this? You don't want a roll call?
Did I say I did? Yeah, I meant roll call.
I'm
Sorry.
That's okay. Mr. Bacon,
Yes.
Mr. DeCrosta,
Yes.
Mr. Lawrence,
Yeah,
Ms. Lewis,
Yes,
Ms. Martin,
Yes.
Mr. Thielacker, President Bioki.
Yes. Okay, so that will move to the business meeting as a final motion. And unless there's any other business, this meeting will be adjourned. Or any objections? Hearing none, the meeting is adjourned.